time for rock news on 101.1 WJRR, Orlando's rock station. Let's check in with Lynch and Taco and see which rockers are making the headlines for all the right and wrong reasons. 101.1 WJRR.
Part of the show is brought to you by CFL Job Fair coming up. You want to go? You want to check this out? You want to look for a new direction in your career? Maybe you're looking for a new gig? All of the above. Coming up on the 22nd.
Yeah, you could be sitting at a job where you're like, I'm really not that happy with this one. There are going to be so many different employers out at the Florida Jobs Now job fair. You want to see those employers? FLJobsNow.com to get a peek of who's going to be out there. It's going on the 22nd, September 22nd, from noon to 4 at the Canvas Event Center.
That is off of Sand Lake near Florida Mall.
Whole bunch of businesses there.
Lots. All right, part two of the Tommy Lee story we got into during Idiotology. The set next to last night of the stadium tour was in
It's near San
Francisco, right? At Oracle Park. Motley Crue did their usual shenanigans, similar to what we saw in the other tour stops, including here in Orlando. And one fan was outraged. His name is Juan Alvarez. He went to his local TV station there after the show. Told the local TV station, minors and everyone forced to see people nude on the big screen, and everyone was doing it around us too. It was like Sodom and Gomorrah. It was crazy. Obviously, it's against the law to expose yourself in front of kids or anybody, especially in front of 30,000 people.
God.
And that whole news report, I've got it for you right at the top of the JR Facebook page. Here's part two.
Yeah, the news station actually bit on it, which is amazing to me.
Tommy Lee's response.
Okay.
The whole thing, it was basically Tommy doing his encouraging, show us your, guys and ladies.
Yeah.
So Tommy says, he tweets out, he goes, complaining about seeing breasts, used another word. He was complaining about seeing breasts at a Motley Crue concert is like complaining about seeing cheesecake at the Cheesecake Factory. He then went on to post a video of Juan's interview at the TV station, speaking over it, saying, quote, "Yo, Juan, I got a question for you. What do you expect to see at a Motley Crue concert, dude? We've been doing this for blanking ever. Jesus Christ, you blanking wussy." And then in the caption he wrote, "The world is too soft. Been doing this stuff for years, Juan. Motley Crue concerts aren't PG and never have been. Grow the F up."
You tell him, Tommy. I like how he drops F-bombs all over the place and all these profanities and then says, he calls him a wussy.
And then says grow up.
Oh, yeah, then grow up.
Okay, all right, okay. Not related, but somewhat. At the conclusion of the tour, Poison's Ricky Rocket had a much more straight-ahead approach on his analysis of the highly successful tour. Ricky Rocket says, he goes, "Look, man," he goes, "I think this stadium tour proved that rock and roll is definitely not dead."
I love hearing that, and I agree. Seeing the crowd in Orlando for that show was rejuvenating, wasn't it?
It was great.
Yeah.
It was great. And you do sometimes get a little bit, down in the dumps with the state of rock music, but, every now and then it gets a kick in the rear, and this tour was just that.
And another kick in the rear for it was the pandemic, because a lot of great musicians motivated and put out new stuff.
Which brings me to this. Tobias Forge from Ghost has made the comment, he goes, "A lot of your favorite bands are really suffering right now." Now you're going, wait a second, what do you mean by that? Mm-hmm. Pandemic is not getting anybody locked down anymore. Everybody's out touring. Everybody's, trying to make up for lost time. He contends that's the issue. He goes, people only have so much money. Can't go see everything. Thus, a lot of bands playing to shows that aren't anywhere near capacity just because there's so many bands out there touring right now, all competing for those same concert dollars.
Because there's a flood of concerts. But is this maybe because you didn't have a good showing at your last concert?
No, it's just a general comment. He says he's observing, with a lot of bands. And, I'm sure probably there's some Ghost shows that may have soft attendance. I don't know. You could say that just about any show these days. John Lennon's killer denied parole for the 12th time. That, of course, Mark David Chapman, who shot and killed Lennon on the night of December 8th, 1980. He was turned down for parole once again.
You killed a legendary rocker. Well, come on.
You know, it's not who you killed; it's the time that you've spent in jail that gets considered in your rehabilitation and your debts being paid. All things that go into parole being considered. But
I understand. I've seen Shawshank Redemption many times. That's one of my favorite rewatch.
Former Iron Maiden frontman Paul Di'Anno finally had his long-awaited knee surgery yesterday in Croatia. He'd been there getting ready for this for a long time. And basically the operation is over. The doctor is pretty satisfied he solved Paul's issue. The skin is now being stitched up, and he'll be, it's time's going to tell whether or not this will be considered a total success. But he had that serious situation with the swelling down there and the drainage that had to be done.
This is the one where the band paid for it, right?
Maiden did finally come around and say, we're going to take care of our guy.
So knock on wood for him, man.
Slipknot's Corey Taylor and Jim Root are talking about starting a new project together. You know, they coexisted Slipknot. They aren't exactly the best of buddies. In fact, Root used to be in Stone Sour and got stories like we can't work together.
Yeah.
But, Slipknot, when you got 37 people in the band, I guess you don't have to.
Put on a mask and just go,
exactly.
Look, I'm going to close my eyes. You put on a mask. Don't show me the mask, and then just pop up somewhere.
Well, Corey says, he goes, look, he and I are very different people, and we're both going through of our own S in life. We reconnected. We're actually talking about doing some stuff on the side outside of Slipknot and Stone Sour. So that's cool. That's good. Says it's cool to find your friend again.
That's cool.
Very cool. Megadeth's new album, The Sick, The Dying, and The Dead, enters the Billboard chart at number 3.
All right. Megadeth.
Dave Mustaine, guys.
There you go.
And then Chirac news.
Check out the Lynch and Taco Show weekday mornings on Facebook Live.
Just give us a like at 1011 WJRR.